The parable of the 10 virgins, also known as the parable of the foolish virgins, is one of the most well-known stories in the Gospel of Jesus. However, among the 4 canonical Gospels, it is only found in Matthew, and it was undoubtedly one of the most popular parables in the Middle Ages. This is why we can find several paintings and sculptures depicting the virgins who were waiting for the bridegroom. Scholars of ancient texts such as Thomas Aquinas, Jerome of Stridon, and Augustine of Hippo have made comments interpreting the enigmatic parable of the 10 virgins. But, what is hidden in this message? What did Jesus really mean in this parable? That is what we will translate now.
Traduziremos o Evangelho em todas as línguas, em todas as culturas, exaltando-lhe.
Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. The foolish ones, when they took their lamps, did not take any oil with them, but the wise ones took jars of oil with their lamps. As the bridegroom was delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight, there was a cry, "Here is the bridegroom! Come out to meet him!" Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out." The wise women replied, "In no way could oil not suffice for us and for you. Go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves." While they went to buy the oil, the groom arrived, and those who were ready entered with him for the wedding feast. And the door closed. Finally, the other virgins arrived and said, "Lord, Lord, open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I do not know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour."
To support this translation, we will draw from the writings of Sigmund Freud, the researcher of the human psyche, considered the father of psychology. Thus, we will have academic and scientific research support. It is important to note that Freud gives the name libido to a sexual force, an energy that we all have. We can also find this concept in the ancient writings of the Vedas, more specifically in the Upanishads. We will compile these texts to facilitate understanding. Let's move on to the texts.
Approximately, Freud mentions in some texts the following idea. There is a kind of libidinal excess, something like a reserve, that is not used for directly sexual purposes and should be somehow reused. With this, it becomes possible for the individual to turn to spiritually elevated activities, according to the expression used by Freud. They are the scientific, artistic production and all those that promote an increase in the well-being and quality of life of men. The interesting thing to note, in this aspect of Freud's ideas, is the fact that such activities are driven by libido. The object targeted acquires a colorful suit. A mild pleasure that, even so and for this very reason, justifies the search and persistence in that sublimated activity.
The Upanishads deal with concepts and methods taught by yoga masters. The teachings provided in these texts contain the physiology and disciplines necessary to achieve awakening, expansion of consciousness, and a release of energy.
The light inside a pot does not shine outside. Only when the pot is broken does the flame of light become visible. Similarly, the body of the yogi is like the pot, while his inner light is the supreme state. A wise person should move it from its seat to the navel, and then to the center of the eyebrows. So the body, which is a body composed of elements, becomes very pure in a divinized way, produced by its pranic body. Being released from the dormant state, it transforms into pure consciousness.
We will also bring an excerpt from a lecture by an adept of this doctrine, as it presents the concepts we will discuss in a clearer and simpler way.
Your body can be compared to an instrument. It's like a bowl filled with mercury, which can be equated to the energy of reproduction, the energy that can give birth to a life, which is in the root center, in all. Your spine is like 3 tubes. The root of the spine is in the container of mercury, which is the reproductive energy. The top of the tube is the third eye, the Ajna chakra. Please understand, 3 tubes are inserted into a bowl of mercury. The tubes are your spine, the bowl of mercury is your root center, filled with energy to create life. When the mercury reaches the top, the Ajna chakra, third eye, opens.
It is important to note that Jesus not only taught his disciples to spread his message to the people and heal, but also to enlighten themselves, to extend their capacity of perception beyond the ordinary, and ultimately, to be able to perceive and communicate with the spiritual world, just as he did. The symbolic language in the parable of the 10 virgins speaks to this subject. The oil to sustain the lamp burning at the arrival of the bridegroom is the same sexual force detected by Freud, which can be channeled into sublimated activities. It is the same creative energy found in Vedic texts, which, rising like a lamp, like a lantern, opens the third eye. For you will see greater things than these, Jesus said. Truly, truly, I say to you, you will see heaven opened, and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man. And what is also important, is that when we bring this understanding to other parables that refer to the bridegroom, the feast, the lamp, they fit like a glove. But this is a subject for the next study. Listen, those who have ears to hear.
Mas virá o momento em que a boa nova deve ser